All right, we'll get after it here. Your overreactions from the weekend. Texas will not make the college football playoff. 3 losses. They won't play for a conference title. They lost to a 7-loss Florida team this year. The resume is disqualifying. They just got blown out by Georgia. Wave goodbye, everybody. They're done.
Yeah, they're done. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Florida. I think, whether it's the Florida game or it's Georgia, it doesn't matter. There's 3 losses. Now, they do have the chance to spoil Texas A&M's season a little bit, maybe a bye, but
kick them out of it.
Yeah, I think any team with 3 losses at this point is out. I don't think this is an overreaction.
Oh, wow, I disagree. I think this is an overreaction for right now because they can beat A&M, get a signature win. 3 losses I don't think is out yet. There's a lot of football left to play, a lot of ACC teams floating in there. If they kind of just win out and then sit on the sideline, I think they could still sneak in at 12.
I'm with the Mafia.
At 12.
Well, 11.
11. He means the last spot. Steve Sarkisian is Cowboy James Franklin. 1-7 in top 5 games at Texas. His offense shrivels up. They can't run the ball. The red zone becomes an issue. Sark, for his career, has 1 conference championship. Call it what it is. James Franklin with a cowboy hat.
I think, okay, I know what the numbers say. I think this is an overreaction right now. He's definitely on the James Franklin path. But I think James Franklin did that over, almost a decade at Penn State. Sark hasn't been there that long. I'm going to give him just another year or two, another year with, and whatever he does at the quarterback position. I don't know that Arch is the answer for next year, but I'm going to allow him a little bit more time.
This is not an overreaction. He is Cowboy James Franklin, and I love it, by the way. I love the name. 91-55 overall in his coaching career. That's just not very good. 4-5 in bowl games, 2-2 in the college football playoff. Cowboy James Franklin made a playoff. Yeah. He didn't do much in it.
Yeah.
Got lucky and got SMU at home.
On the flip side, Oklahoma will make the college football playoff. They've beaten Bama in Tuscaloosa. They won at ranked Tennessee at night. Also beat ranked Michigan, too, for what it's worth. Gives them 3 top 25 wins, no bad losses, and the rest of their schedule, Mizzou and LSU at home.
All right, well, I'm not giving them any credit for beating Michigan at home, but they've got 2 games left at home, Missouri and LSU. I think they win both those games, and if I'm going on the same premise of Texas is out with 3 losses, Oklahoma's in with only 2 losses.
Yeah, this is not an overreaction. I think they're in. You said it, Jim. Road wins at Tennessee and at Alabama. They survived their schedule. Hopefully no letdown for them. I do think they're a little vulnerable this coming week. We shall see. But I don't see how they can't make it at this point. And they would have a tiebreaker over Michigan.
Thanks, Ken Maeda. Speaking of Michigan, Ohio State will come into Ann Arbor favored by 2 touchdowns and cover the spread. Bryce is still very much a freshman, like many we've seen before. He had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter against Northwestern. I'm giving him the 3rd on the botched handoff on the 4th and 1. But he also threw 2 dumb interceptions. He has 7 touchdowns to 5 picks on the year. OSU is rolling. They won't make the same mistake they did last year.
I don't think this is an overreaction at all. And say whatever you want about their offense and not going up against elite defenses. They're going to play a good defense at Michigan, but it all comes down to the offensive side of things. This is a better offense than Michigan had last year, except I just don't trust that if they're a 2-touchdown favorite, I would anticipate that Ohio State's going to score 3 touchdowns. Does Michigan score 1? And you can't rely on field goals.
Right, Tom?
This is an overreaction. After last year, all bets are off on this game. I can't believe Michigan went down there and won still last year. And if Michigan gets this, especially with their offensive line, hey, we're going to dominate them in the trenches. They'll be able to run the ball, keep the game close. I just think until I see Ohio State do it at this point, it's one of the good things Sharon Moore can do.
To me, it would take a very similar game plan by Ryan Day and Ohio State not to attack the secondary and to say, we're going to beat you running the game. I don't have a lot of respect for Ryan Day for a lot of different things, but I got to think that he has some semblance of common sense.
No, he got into some physical, bleeping match last year because he wanted to out-bully Michigan.
Right, I don't think he does that this year.
Well, until I see it.
Do me.
I know, John, sometimes figuring people are dumb.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold is not a franchise quarterback. He's not someone you build around. 4 interceptions in a big game against a real defensive front this week.
So I'm not sure what you're defining as a franchise quarterback. Do I think he is one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the world? Yes.
That's a starter. I would say a franchise guy is one of the 10 to 12 best in the sport.
Okay, so he's not a top 10 quarterback. Yeah, that's not an overreaction.
This is not an overreaction. He's not a franchise quarterback. A franchise quarterback is somebody that you can win a Super Bowl with. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The Eagles and the Rams won their games because their quarterbacks didn't lose the game. I think Jared Goff lost the game last night. I think he's the primary reason. That completion percentage is a joke. Brendan had the stat earlier in one of his updates. A 70% quarterback with that percentage or higher has never thrown for 44 or whatever it was with Goff. I mean, it is what it is, guys.
It says Mew. Myles Garrett will break the NFL single-season sack record. He had 4 this weekend. He has 15 in 10 games, 1 away from his career high, and on pace for 25.5. Move over, Strahan.
Yeah, and you look at the teams that they play. They've got the Titans. I would expect that that's a multi-sack day. The Bears, probably the same thing. The Steelers, same thing. Bengals, same thing. Yeah, I think he breaks it.
Yeah, this is not an overreaction. I think at this point it's the one thing they can play for too, by the way. So they're situationally going to try to get this. And maybe, I think he might get to 27 or something like that. The sad result here is that he's going to break TJ Watt and Michael Strahan's, John, record of 22.5.
And I'll be cheering the whole way.
The Chargers' offensive line will cost them a playoff spot. They're in right now, but Herbert was pressured on 48% of dropbacks, second highest figure for him this season. They're 7-4, but for how long? There are no good solutions coming out of the bye week.
No, I don't think this is an overreaction. I do think they miss out just because they've been brutalized by injuries on the offensive line. And, they ended up pulling Justin Herbert, early in the fourth quarter just so he wouldn't get hurt. They play the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Broncos.
How about those fronts?
Yeah, if you can't block them up, it's going to be a long rest of the season.
All right, I'm going to treat this much like I did Texas. I think this is an overreaction for right now. They do have 7 wins already. 9 or 10 is probably going to get you in. The bottom of the AFC is that last spot's really going to be up for grabs. You're including teams like the Jags and Texans. You think both of them would make it?
Well, but a team like the Chiefs who's out, I'm not willing to bury yet.
You're right. I think the Chiefs are the one team that will get in, but there'll still be that 7th spot sitting there. And I don't trust the Steelers to be a wild card because I think the Ravens are coming.
Yeah.
So I just think for now there's so much football left. Same thing I said with Texas. Although, yeah, with the defenses that they have to play, who knows?
Depth. The Detroit Pistons are more likely to win their conference than the Detroit Lions. We now know what's going to happen for Detroit. They're going to have to win 4 playoff games to win a Super Bowl. They will have to win 3 playoff games to win the NFC, and we know these defensive fronts are going to cause them problems. In the NBA, the East is wide open. In the NBA, Cade Cunningham can be a closer. Tom's already talked about how he has questions about Goff closing. The Pistons have a better chance to win their conference than the Lions.
It's so early in the NBA season. To me, it's an overreaction at this point. And so I'm not sitting here, I'm not predicting that either win their conference or that the Lions do, especially with the way the offensive line has played. However, if you can get Mahogany back, and I don't know what type of injury Ratledge is dealing with, it's a long shot, I think, to win the NFC and to be able to win 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. And quite honestly, they've never done it before, so I don't know why I wouldn't say this is an overreaction. I just think that today we're all feeling bad. We're all feeling down. This to me right now with as early as the NBA season is an overreaction because we don't know, is Cade ever going to come back? I mean, we all think he will.
Of course.
I just think it's too early.
John, I think that's the closest you've ever come to going SOL with that comment, that they've never done it before. You never refer to the franchise's past that much in terms of like evaluating one season team.
Right.
So, yeah, congratulations. Welcome to the club.
I did not go SOL,
Okay,
just to make sure that we're clearly defined on that.
We're divvying up 4 and 5% chances right now is what we're really doing. So I'm with John. I think it's an overreaction that the Pistons could actually play in the NBA Finals because they haven't won a playoff series yet with Cade and this group.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions have at least won playoff games with this group, although my confidence was pretty shot last night.
That was a different offensive line that won playoff games before.
I know.
All right, those are your overreact, Jims.